Hello everyone, listen, welcome to episode 77, Food for Thought. So today, I suppose, one thing I've done was take the jumper out of the wardrobe. The seasons are changing. My Japanese maple behind is changing its colours. So in fairness, the kitchen probably needs to change a little bit as well. So I've tried to create, I'm about to try to create a heartwarming dish that'll be sort of taken over when you come home from work or home from school. And hopefully it should be really enjoyable. Haven't made this one before, but listen, bear with me and we'll see what it's like. So it's actually a beef casserole. So I'm going to cook it in a skillet. It could also be cooked in the oven or indeed a slow cooker, but you'd have to seal it on a pan first of all. So back to you in a while. Okay, listen, welcome back everyone. That's taken over really nicely at this stage. I've added in the salt, pepper, thyme. And the next thing I'm going to add in is I'm going to add in the button mushrooms off over here. So just washed it. I'm going to put in about a dozen of them. So listen, back to you in a while. Okay, sorry if the screen went upside down there for a while. So listen, I've just added in the garlic. This is nearly ready to go now. Actually, I'll just keep the camera on it. I'm just going to add in the meat in total. And we've got a good stir in. And the next thing we're going to add in is about 2 tablespoons of plain flour over here, and that actually brings around the thickness of the sauce, and then we'll add in the beef stock. So back to you in a while. Bye. Yeah, I just forgot to mention the tablespoon of tomato puree is just there. That's it. Hey. Okay, that's the flour stirred in, so that sort of brings it to a thickness. So I'm just going to add the stock. Back to you in a second. Okay everyone, listen, I've brought that to a boil and put in 2 bay leaves just sitting on the top of it. I'm going to cover that now with its own lid, and we have 2 options here. We can actually turn it down to a very, very low simmer and cook it on the stove, or we can actually turn it into a preheated oven, about 150. I reckon this is going to take 2 to 3 hours. How you know when it's cooked is after 2.5, 3 hours, whatever, you just test the meat and see how tender it is. You need it to fall apart. Another way you could have cooked this, in fairness, if you had a slow cooker, and you could cook it for 5, 6, 7 hours. So listen, looking forward to seeing this later. Back in a while. Okay, listen, welcome back everyone. So listen, 2.5 hours has passed. So I've checked on the cooking process. I suppose, especially in the last hour, I've had to add some additional stock to it twice just to make sure that it keeps the right consistency. The meat is absolutely tender. The consistency of the sauce is lovely. And I've just removed the bay leaves and I put together a small mix of a 1/4 cup of milk, teaspoonful of garlic, salt, pepper. So I'm going to heat that in the saucepan, and the potatoes have been steamed as we speak. So as soon as the potatoes are steamed, I'm going to put them in on top of that, mash them with a masher, beat them with a wooden spoon, and just put on a few greens to the side. So listen, we'll just go in into the kitchen and have a peep, and the next time you'll see will be dinner served up. Okay folks, welcome back. Listen, dinner is served up. I just have my feet up, watching a good film, and dinner's on my knee this evening. So let's have a look. So that's the finished product, folks. Looks good. I tasted it a few times, so I reckon the taste is going to be really good. So back to you in a while. Well everyone, hours and hours has passed and the meal is concluded. So I'm just going to go to the marking sheet to see how we rate this one. Just bear with me for a second. Let me just turn. So, oh my goodness, here we are. So the overall taste of this one, absolutely delicious. The cream potatoes, the greens, the whole beef casserole just came together so well. In fairness, as I went through it, I did have to add additional stock to it, not to ensure that we had the right consistency. But if you don't have additional stock, you could just add extra water. So I'm going to give that a 5. Visual, looked lovely on the plate. Imagine coming in of a winter's evening, taking off the coat and sitting up and sort of that being presented to you. Looked absolutely lovely, tasted really good, and in fairness you were totally full after it, so that was really good. The service, listen, because it was ticking over in the pot, I probably ran it up to 3.5 hours in the end, and it needed it all. and it would be a very hard dish to overcook. So you were just literally serving it up from a ladle, cream the potatoes, the greens. One thing I would say, in fairness to the mushrooms, if I was to do it again, the button mushrooms, I would reintroduce them to the dish, not immediately, but maybe 15-20 minutes before the dish was prepared, just to give them a bit of a crunch. So that's just an observation on my hand. Value for money. Listen, I reckon without a shadow of a doubt that cost about $3.50 a head, you know, and I got 3 portions out of that dish with a pound of beef. So listen, really, really good. Would I cook it again? Of course I would. Yeah, absolutely. It's a real winter dish, in fairness, and I look forward to cooking it again. Might try. I don't actually have one at the moment, but I'll buy one of those small little slow cookers, and I'd let it. I'd seal it obviously in the pan, everything as before, and I'd let it take out for maybe 6-7 hours. So let's go for this one. Yeah, it's a real winter dish, right? Heartwarming indeed. So listen, yeah, enjoy that. I'll talk to you whenever. Oh, by the way, listen, my next episode, which is episode 7, wait, I'll turn this. My next episode, which is episode 78, I'm going to cross the border of Dublin and Wicklow and head to a place called Greystones. And I'm going out with friends to what will be my very first experience of a Michelin star restaurant. So that's lined up for the weekend. I'm really looking forward to it. And yeah, so we'll be back to you with that episode. So listen, God bless you all. Bye.